Hello everybody and welcome back to Keep It Real, episode number 7 now I believe. I am back. My throat's still a little bit husky, you might be able to tell. But apologies, it's been probably about a week and a half I think since I posted an episode, which I do like to try and do them a little bit more consistently than that, but I'm feeling better, we're all good. So let's get on with it. So I'm really excited about this episode. I'm actually pretty gutted I didn't manage to record this up until now. My whole kind of week off was wasted, I guess. But this is the episode where we take the loan. Hopefully there's a decent interest rate offered by the bank at the minute, because we have got the mod added, which kind of does influence that. The interest rates do change. But we are going to buy that first plot of land. Which is amazing. It is definitely going to be the second plot that we looked at. So I'll just pop over to the map mode. So it is this one here, which is plot number 125. It's kind of the most derelict plot, I guess, which for me means probably the most challenging plot. But yeah, I'm quite excited about getting that one. So while we're here, what was it again? Remind myself. So 26,553. We have already actually got 13,000. So we don't need a huge amount. The money has varied a little bit, by the way. Thank you for the comment. I do completely agree. I put a fence here or a gate there, and I had to park the L200 to the nearest millimeter just to close it, and it was a bit of a pain. I think it was pure fluke, beginner's luck the first time, but I know for certain in the future at some point that would have started bouncing around. So I got rid of that, credited myself the £2,500 of that gate cost. So yeah, let's before I jump into the actual loan agreement, I want to have a look, because we need to kind of forward plan ever so slightly. I'm getting some very, very basic equipment just to get us started. Now, with regards to a tractor, I found this mod. It is a third-party one, but I've never seen it before. And I've done a really quick test of it, and it's pretty good. I mean, all I do when I test, to be honest, is make sure it gets dirty, because that's kind of all I'm interested in. But it's pretty good. Is that a real thing? Was there ever a MAN 4P one? I don't know. I haven't actually checked, but it looks really good. The detail of it is really, really good. Not bad as well. 85 horsepower. That seems like a pretty reasonable tractor. You do get a few variations. You can change the front weight on it. This doesn't actually seem to do anything other than just change the grille. Wheel brand, again, doesn't really seem to do anything. Doesn't change the wheel brand. It just adds the kind of fender to it. Wheel setup, you can add a weight to the back, so we can get a weight at the back in the wheel and a weight at the front in the tractor, which is great. I'm not quite sure what it means by tyre sound. This one here, obviously it's got some sort of fault in the description in the mod itself in the XMLs. However, it clearly does work, so in the future it does have options for kind of a basic cab. This was the thing that kind of stood out for me. Being able to have a front loader attacher on something like that would be so handy eventually. Now, it doesn't really tell you what kind of front loader attacher it would use. Kind of looks like a standard one. But that's something definitely in the future that we're going to need. Main colours, actually, they don't even change even if you do change them. So that's cool. 10,500. So I do want to allow the loan that we take out, depending on what the repayment rate's going to be, I do want to allow that to be with it as well. And I do just feel like I need to get a very basic idea of some of the cost of some of the equipment we're going to need basic. Now, actually, the Porsche diesel pack here, which is a really cool tractor, by the way, but 50 horsepower is just not quite enough. But it does have a good selection of basic stuff here. This is definitely vintage. However, it will get us going. You know, that cedar, brilliant. What's that? Cultivator, brilliant. So we will probably need to start with stuff like this, just to get us through. Even that mower's not bad, is it? So let's just say we're going to need to get a plough, and then we're probably going to need to, at some point in the future, think about a seeder. So we want to allow an extra 2,000 on top of that as well. So what are we looking at now? 26.5, 37. So we're looking at about 40 grand. Just to round it up, we want to be taking out a loan of around 40 grand. So let's do it. I was thinking of setting a kind of standard point to drive to take out a loan, but loans are online these days, aren't they? That's normal. Now, just to explain that paid off loan section there. When you start from scratch, you always start with a £200,000 loan. Obviously, I didn't want to play this with a loan already, and I didn't want to have any money. So I zeroed it, and I had to zero the loan, and that's why previously it's shown as a paid off loan. Can't really do a lot about that. I can't get rid of it. But anyway, let's take out the loan. So the max, well, I like it. So there is actually a maximum loan amount that we're able to take out. Wonder what that's based on. Is that based on earnings? Don't know. We can only take out 55,000. Interesting. It kind of makes me think now, if that's the maximum we can take out, do I get a little bit more? One of my first priorities in this new plot of land, by the way, is to get, I think, ducks. And then eventually move on to cows, dairy cows. Only because there's a built-in dairy in the map. And I haven't done cows on any of my series so far yet anyway, and I do really enjoy them. So I just wonder if I should go. Let's have a look at 50. Let's go for a £50,000 loan. And we want the £50,000 loan over. What do we reckon? What's it going to be like if we go for 2 game years? So monthly repayment, 2,193. We actually end up paying about nearly 2 grand more for the loan. I think we can spread that out a bit longer. So let's change that to a 3-year loan agreement. So £1,500 per month. Okay, now we need to consider, of course, we do have to pay the rent still for a minute. That's 800. Yeah, let's go with that. Take out the loan agreement. We want it to be challenging, don't we? Okay. We have just taken out a £50,000 loan. But we are leaving ourselves quite tight. In actual fact, we haven't paid our rent. So let's remove. £800 rent has been paid. And yeah, let's head over to the field, which we're going to buy. I say field. It's not really a field. Okay, let's make our way over there. So even though I've been slightly ill, I've not wasted time too much. So I've just popped in another 32 gigabytes of DDR5 RAM. So I've upped the RAM a little bit. I was hoping that would kind of help with this laggy bits, but again, it's that kind of curse of a fresh update. I think there's been another update since I last played it, and you always seem to get this little bit of loading lag that first time round. I thought the RAM would help, but maybe not. I think it's helped a bit. I think it's helped a little bit. Right, we are nearly there. This thing has no power at all. Okay, right, let's pull into here. And this is it. This is the bit of land we're going to buy. So jump to the map. Let's purchase that piece of land. And that is it. This is now ours. So, how do I want to play it? Where do I even start? This nice kind of channel, this stream, it's going to stay. It's natural. In theory, you'd have drainage issues if it didn't. Might be a bit of an issue there, though. So that is going to stay. I'm not going to get rid of that. I'm not going to level it off. We're going to work around it. That's what's going to give this little farm, small holding, I guess you could call it, a bit of characteristics. So where do I even start? Where do I want things to go? I've been thinking, because whenever I do the editing, right at the beginning of every video I edit, there's that kind of intro. So I do look at this piece of land from above so often. And what I've been thinking is actually, I want the entrance and the kind of stuff to be this side, here somewhere. Maybe we make the entrance between that bollard and that post. So this would be the entrance off the main road. And then, I don't know, maybe a track heading off in that direction, with some sort of small bridge crossing over this. I think that would be quite cool. And then, I don't know, probably a small field here. I think, because it's relatively flat. Tractor obviously doesn't have unlimited power, so we can't go somewhere too hilly. So I think that there, and then this area here maybe for kind of the animals, eventually a house. That's my kind of thinking anyway, as a rough guide. I do really want to get onto terraforming, but I'm not so sure if I should really start just to get a very rough layout, just by doing a bit of landscaping. I think I will, and then use the terraforming to do the kind of major works, I guess. Because if I'm going to wait to do the terraform, the cost of leasing that equipment means actually it's going to be another 4 or 5 episodes before we even start landscaping. And although I want it to be realistic and not too fast, I certainly don't want the series to be too slow. So what I'm going to do, I guess I've been chatting lots and lots so far, and I don't want to just chat too much, but I am just going to jump to construction mode. I might do a little bit of a time lapse here, just to get something in place. But hopefully you can see my theory. I think this section here will be a good field, maybe even a bit further up, so kind of a field that goes up around here. And we'll probably plant that with things like wheat and oat, just to be self-sufficient, because we will get goats. Here, entranceway over here somewhere, and we'll put some ducks around here somewhere. And we'll probably put a house around here again, because it's really flat. Well, it's not really flat. It's not flat at all, but it's the flattest part. So I think we'll do that. House around here, some sort of ducks or something around here. I'm sure I just said goats. Ducks around here. And probably, I don't know, cows up around here somewhere. I think that could work. A little self-sustainable small holding. That's where I want to go with this little plot of land. So I'm just going to put a small track just heading in. I'm not going to go too far. And I'm just going to hedge all around the outside just to make it feel a little bit more enclosed. It shouldn't take me too long. Okay, right, wow. Let's drive down and have a look. So this is going to be evolving all the way, by the way. So I'm sure that was a relatively quick time lapse. I haven't actually done a lot. I haven't landscaped the whole area. I've literally landscaped the entranceway, I guess. And we'll just kind of improvise and we'll see how it looks as we go. But yeah, I think I'm happy with the entrance being here, off the main road. Again, don't forget, I'm going for realism. I want as much realism as possible. Rather than kind of fit everything in nice and square and as close together as possible. And, you know, I could probably make a huge amount more out of this land if I really went for it. But I did place a little, well, it's a chicken coop, but obviously with the enhanced animals mod, it is actually going to be for ducks. I think that's quite cool. I've never used this one before. Well, it looks pretty awesome, doesn't it? We've got some things flying in here, but you know, I think the ducks will love it in here. So yeah, that's. I might have a bit of a play with the landscape tool as well, actually, at some point. See if I can create them a little pond. I'm pretty sure they wouldn't swim in the pond just with the animation, but I think it would be quite cool if they had a little pond. Maybe we'll do a little pond here somewhere. Be a bit different. I've not really made a little garden pond before, but I like it. It looks pretty good. I don't know. I don't know how far out the ducks will go. They'll probably end up walking around on the road, I expect. Hopefully not. I've placed all of these bushes around. This is going to kind of imitate them not being able to escape. I don't really like the look of fences around everything all the time. But yeah, nice little area for ducks. So maybe that'll be a priority. We'll get a little duck carrier. We'll head to the shop and we'll buy some ducks maybe in this episode. Just up here, I've not done a great deal other than put a random track here with a bridge, a very small bridge, to which I think is a good position to kind of get over to this half of the land. But well, this is kind of 2/3 of it, I think, actually. But again, I don't know what I'm going to do here. There's so much shrubbery, you can't even really see what you want to do, and it is a pretty steep hill. So we'll have a think. You might notice in the time lapse though. Oh wow, it's even bigger than I thought. You probably did notice I've put kind of bushes all the way around the outside, just to give it that kind of more enclosed kind of feeling. I just feel that it looks better. That's the only reason I did it. Yeah, this section here I think will make for a good field. Looks like we've got some areas here though where the water builds up. So we'll have to keep an eye on them. I did test it, by the way. These little pools of water which kind of appear, which is one of the mods that's causing it. You do actually lose a lot of traction when you go through them. So they do make a difference, and I think with the REA wheels mod, with the mud mod enabled as well, actually it will be quite challenging if it's raining and those puddles start to appear. We're going to be really stuck. It's like in real life, it's definitely going to rain us off the job. It's definitely going to rain us away from the job. Lovely. Well, I think that looks pretty good. A good little start, for definite. So we've got £24,000 left over. We know that 10,500 is going to be for our first tractor, and then we want to allow a few thousand for some basic implements, but nothing major. But you know, the extra little bit of money that we took out there and then, on top of the money that we already owned, it's paid for the duck coop, and it's now going to pay for us to get some ducks. So let's head over. That's the main reason I thought the entrance down here would be better. You wouldn't be able to reverse out onto a main road like that. That is for sure. Right, so we'll head to the store and we'll buy ourselves some ducks. That if you haven't noticed, by the way, the handling. If you've used this L200, the handling is awful. Absolutely awful. It had an update, and I hope they'd fixed it, but they haven't fixed it. It's still really bad. what I was going to say is that looks like it's ready to harvest, and I do really want to get into a harvesting contract. So we will have a look and see whether or not that farmer needs any harvesting doing, because that would be handy. And also corn, I think it is corn. That's more than likely one of the foods needed for the ducks. Now this bit is a whole learning curve, because ducks, chickens, of course, standard in game mode, all they need is wheat or barley, but Maize Plus completely changes that. I think it's safe to kind of say Maize Plus makes feeding chickens a bit more like the base game makes you feed pigs. It's probably about accurate, I think. But yeah, you've got to have the kind of protein foods, the energy foods, and I have no idea how to do it. I actually don't know. So we are learning that together. And I know I will get loads and loads of tips anyway as we're going. But anyway, right, we're at the shop. So we'll head on in here and see what we need to buy. So first of all, we need the as always, it's realistic. I want to play realistic rules, but I do this anyway. We need to have the animal transport, and I know I've installed and activated it. The chicken transport crate, such a good little mod, and realistically, you can pick it up. You can put it into the back of the car. What does it hold? It doesn't tell you there. I want to say from memory it holds 8, maybe. But we get that, £500. Okay, and just while we're here, we'll also have a look at what is available for food. Okay, if I buy chicken food, will that kind of balance out a bit of everything, a bit like the pig food does? I don't know. I might have to do that though. I don't really have a lot of other options really. All of this, again, this is new to me, by the way, as I'm looking at this, because it's all Maize Plus, and I genuinely don't really know what I'm doing when it comes to Maize Plus. I think we need to get the chicken food. My concern is with the big bags, we have no means of actually taking them off. Are there any other options? Okay, good. So under pallets, there are actually individual bags. So £26 gets you 25 litres. Okay, fine. I much prefer that. So, how many do we want? We're only going to get 4 or 5 ducks. So let's go with 4 bags. Brilliant. And yes, I'm hopeful you can pick them up by hand. I would have thought you could anyway. I am going to, thanks for the suggestion. Again, because I've been poorly, I've been out of it for a while. I can't remember who said it, but I'm going to set a rule. If the product that we're buying in the store is brand new, we're going to have to pre-order it. And we're going to have to wait maybe till the next episode or maybe till the next game month for that equipment to turn out. So if it's brand new shiny tractor or shiny bit of equipment, this dealership's going to have to order it in. If it's in the shop, then it's readily available. So we can just come and get it straight away. And if it's kind of older equipment, so kind of the stuff that looks a bit vintage, I think it's fair for us to be able to just come and buy that, to be honest with you. So it's only going to be on the brand new shiny equipment that we're going to have to wait for. Now, I didn't actually check, but what's in the shop? Wow, I mean, maybe one day, but not today. Okay, every time you come out of the shop, it kind of turns you around and it just confuses me. Right, here we go. Let's go around the corner. We'll chuck the bags in the back. And yeah, we'll lift up that empty chicken crate. I don't know. I'm certain I can use it for ducks. I don't know what the animation will look like. It'll probably look like we're transporting chickens. I can't imagine that's changed. But anyway, it must be around here somewhere. Aha, there we go. There we go. Brilliant. So we'll put the chicken food in first. We'll chuck that over at the back. It's got wide old arch liners in the back of this bed, isn't it? Kind of a. It looks like it's a decent sized pickup truck, but actually it's pretty awful, isn't it? I don't even know if this chicken crate will fit in there. We'll have to bodge it. Okay. So yeah, these are liftable, which is amazing for realism. That's really good. Now, let's just jump up into the back. Yeah, it's not going to fit. What a silly sized pickup truck. We're going to have to. Oh dear. Okay, there we go. I had to rejig it a little bit, but it is in there. Let's make our way. Now, I've never used it before, but I have installed interactive controls, but I'm just guessing that this particular pickup truck mod just doesn't work with it, because it doesn't seem to give me the option, the tiny little crosses that you get where you can do stuff manually. It doesn't seem to be available, but right, can I get to that animal dealership down this way? I'm pretty sure I can. So yeah, we'll have a look and see how much the ducks are. I think buying some ducklings would be absolutely fine. Potentially, maybe we'll get one kind of adult duck, maybe a grown female duck, and then get the rest of ducklings. So, I imagine we just need to reverse up to here. Surprised that I managed to do that without crashing. Genuinely didn't crash, but look at that. Okay. So, chicken transport crate, we can transport them. So, little duckling. Oh, look at it. Cute little thing, isn't it? So, how many can we get? Oh, yeah, it does hold 8. I thought it held 8. So, I don't want to get 8. I think 7 and a female. How much are they each? What? £7. Can't go wrong. And let's get a female as well. Just a grown-up female, I should say. Do they look? Oh. And you know what? I am surprised, but it does animate them. Look at that. Ah, they even make the proper noises as well. I've not actually used this enhanced animal mod. On my Bandy Spring series, the goats and things are built into the map, so it's quite nice to get in the right side. Yeah, it's quite nice to use some different animal variations actually. They look quite happy there in the back. Pretty damn noisy. Let's take them back then. So they're actually moving into our eventual home before we're going to move into the home. But at least I'll be able to see if they're going to start running off in the road. Okay, here we are, just pulling back up now. Yeah, I really do think having the entrance down here is a good idea. I do quite like that. Might change it in the future, maybe. It may change. It may change. Right, we'll put up here. And I should be able to lift this animal crate. Let's okay, just pulled the back down there. Yeah. Yeah. So we can lift that still, even with the animals in it. Which is still realistic, isn't it? Where do the animals go? Here? Somewhere? Oh. Okay. So the trigger's there, but it doesn't show those animals. There we go. So, transport crate. Let's get all of those out. There we go. Ah, That looks pretty cool, actually. I like it. The little crate can just live there. We're not going to be needing that for a minute or two. I really like it. How far out do the ducks go? Do they wander around a lot? Can't really see where they are. Right, I'm gonna go out onto the road in a minute, see if they've wandered off. Right, this should hopefully just tip out. Where's the animal? Oh, there you go. It's not a great deal of food. I don't know how long this is going to last them. I'm glad the grown-up duck now actually looks like a duck, because I don't think the animation of that was quite right in the back of the crate. There we go. Look at that. That looks pretty damn cool. I like it. Right, have we got any little escapees? Doesn't look like it. When you place these kind of open mods, sometimes you actually don't know where the actual area is that the animals will go around, but this looks pretty good. Pretty good. I'm just going to jump into the menu and have a look to see. So that 100 litres, okay, doesn't hold a huge amount of food, does it? 100 litres, yeah, don't know, more than... At absolute best, maybe that holds 2,000 litres. Just guessing there roughly on how much it's filled it. Yeah. Doesn't hold the most amount of food in the world. So this is going to have to be a constant task. Again though, realistic. Would you put, you know, a couple of tons of food into a little trough like that? You wouldn't. We're going to have to keep topping it up. So we're probably going to have to keep buying a bit of food for the near future. I like it. I like it. Cool. Okay. Job well done. Okay, so yeah, I'm happy with what we've achieved today. So I think I'm going to call it there. I don't know how long the episode's been exactly. Probably 35-minute mark, I guess. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. May not be quite as interesting as the last few. I'm pretty much there, but I am still kind of getting back into the swing of it and still kind of starting to feel a bit better. So hopefully it's been enjoyable. Hopefully it's not put anyone off watching the next ones, but certainly the realistic touch is going to continue. This is what we're going to do. We're not going to be placing things as evenly as possible and making it look as kind of squared as possible. This is going to be like a real farm, so it's going to have random little entranceways. I'm watching you, little duck, then. I have to make sure I don't run those ones over. But yeah, no, just random little pieces. I guess next time, what do? We jump in, we buy the tractor. Again, the tractor's an old tractor, so I think it's safe to say they'll have that in stock. And then probably a plough, and let's start shaping this area up. I reckon that's got to be the next thing to do. We need to start thinking about food, I guess. Maybe we can start to produce our own food for these guys rather than buying bags. But also, I really do. I'm going to have a look at some open cow pastures, some mods, and get a cow pasture in place over here somewhere. Don't know where. This piece of land is much bigger than it looks, Don't need anything too major, but we've got all of this area going right up to the end here. This would work quite well for some cows, I think. So my preference at this point, just like the kind of duck shed we put there, is to stick with things a little wooden, because naturally you can build wooden things quickly. So that's my theory. Anything that's kind of big brick built kind of things, you wouldn't necessarily make magically appear. So my preference is to stick with that. So yeah, if you've used anything yourself, let me know. Obviously it needs to be cheap, it needs to be really basic, and it needs to be as interactive as possible. probably, you know, I want to have to be able to put water into it. I don't want to automatically tops the water levels up, if that kind of makes sense. We want to keep it real. Keep it real. Sounds like a good name for the series, maybe. But anyway, I hope you have enjoyed it. Apologies, I haven't been on for a little while. I haven't put anything up for a little while. I hope this one's up to standard. And I know for definite, as I start getting back into the swing of it, this is going to be a really, really good series. For me, anyway. For me to record. It's already seeming pretty promising. So, thanks very much. And until the next episode, cheers and gone.